Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rodney 383, Anime Real Talk TV, and today we got a special review: The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 1, Seed. Somebody seed. Yeah, we planting something. But I got my boy with me, B-Dub, the Anime Master,
Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? B-Dub is back.
and we about to get right into this. So, let's start off by just setting the tone or the atmosphere. Now, you you have a whole winter that has went by, and so they've been house hopping basically, and just trying to keep warm and stay fed. And you can clearly see that everybody has a toughness to them. Those that didn't last season, have a little bit of an edge this season. I guess dealing with harsher environment and whatnot. They had to toughen up a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe they had to toughen up because, like, on the season 2 finale, it seemed like there was going to be some kind of dictatorship with Rick and the group. But it seems, through this whole time skip of this 6 month, 7 month winter skip, they seem to learn to work together more frequently and, pretty much cut out all of the bullshit, basically, from what I've seen.
Yeah, because when Rick said it's not a democracy anymore, I mean, I at that point I had no means thought that he felt that he wasn't gonna make the best decision possible that he can make. When he said that, I was like, well, it'll be his way, but I don't think it's gonna like be detrimental to the group, as opposed to if it was Shane, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and also Daryl and Curl's relationship seems to be developing somewhat. Last season, even Curl herself is a little more outspoken. Just her demeanor and how she speaks is less timid. So over time, she definitely grew a little bit. And Daryl, he's awesome anyway. So it is what it is. I like how he just shot that out and just started plucking it like straight up.
Another scene I found funny was when they was going through the house and um, Carl had found the dog food and then Rick took it from him and threw that shit across the wall. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yo,
mean, he's like, come on, man, we're not eating dog food. I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna stoop that low. And
yeah,
yeah, so it's like even so, I mean, somebody probably would eat that shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But don't nobody want to eat that. So it is
I
what
mean,
it
I
is.
mean, like desperate times call for desperate measures, but I do see where you're coming from with the like, you don't want to go that low.
Yeah, and we're not animals here. And also Rick and Lori's relationship seems to be very, very volatile. Those two cannot sit down and have a conversation. Rick's whole perception, his whole demeanor has changed, and you could tell he was holding that in for so long. Over the whole winter, he was holding in some stuff, man. Because when you sit back and think about it, and think about what your wife is doing behind your back, and blah blah blah. It really takes a toll on you mentally, and you can't stand to see that person at some point.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, man. Like, I probably, if I was him, I would have probably done the same thing because that's like, it's some fucked up shit.
And let's talk about Michonne, which is a new character that just was introduced. Well, last season she was introduced slightly when she saved Andrea, but she looks pretty badass. Now I'm wondering what's up with the sword training. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause she don't look like she just swinging it. She looks like she's actually a trained swordsman. So I'm very interested to see backstory in that. Also, she has those two zombies that she drags around with her, and I was wondering what was up with that because obviously you wouldn't just bring random zombies around with you unless you had some type of connection to them. So I just put two and two together. But some other people clarified to me that they are actually her boyfriend and her boyfriend's best friend, and the arms are chopped off because you know they can't try nothing, they can't grab you, and the jaws are chopped off so they can bite on you and shit. So but and another person said she uses them to like carry stuff. So I don't know, that it was kind of random. I'm like, you got them trained and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Another thing I found out, like that whole scene, like when they first showed him, They looked at kind of CGI, and then when they showed them again, it was like real people, like stunt actors or whatever. I felt like that mix looked pretty jarring in my opinion.
You saying you don't like the effects on that? Or?
I mean, I'm just saying like when they first showed them, they looked at kind of CGI, kind of like popping out fakeness, and then when they showed them again, it looked at more, you know, practical, animatronic, realistic. You know, like
Yeah.
first the effect, it looked good. I mean, like at first it looked kind of crappy, then it looked better. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
So
Oh,
hopefully there won't be no inconsistencies with that.
also, the group eventually gets to a prison, you know, and of course, the prison is so huge. It has multiple spots of cafeterias, food, just an armory in there, medical supplies, everything. But they got to get in there, and I thought that it was very it basically showed their teamwork and their cohesion throughout the whole winter,
Mm.
that they was able to just pick off zombies with a tight plan, and everybody held their weight in there. Like, I really did like how that went and how they went about getting into there, even though it was reluctant. And I also like how Rick pushes them just a little bit more, and it ends up working out for the best for the most part. You know what I'm saying? That was a good victory, as he
Yeah.
said in the show.
Uh-huh. And that was a great scene. I love the choreography and the cinematography in that scene. It was fucking awesome. Like great action, great blood. It was fucking great.
Yeah, I think this episode had a lot more close up kills. It was just way more brutal. I don't know. It just seemed like it was more.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Faces getting bashed in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Heads getting chopped off at the temple. So I thought it was very, very cool. Also, Andrea. Now she's with Michonne, and obviously they've been together since she got saved by her. And Andrea talks about, I've been saving your ass all winter. So they was like a tag team duo for a minute, for a while. But she seems like she has like pneumonia or something. No, I didn't know what's up with that. She's obviously not bit, because I would believe that they would have said something immediately. So, maybe she's sick and, she needs some medicine. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I think she's just sick. Probably just a really bad cold or something or flu or something, and she can't really get better because supplies is limited. I don't think
Hmm.
it's anything extra dangerous or life threatening.
Yeah, I mean, she's still able to get up and walk, and provided she can get somewhere where they got some type of medical supply, she's probably okay.
I mean, I assume that Rick in the group assumes that she's dead since she's been with Michonne, for the whole winter skip. So
Yeah,
I'm interested in seeing them, coming back to the group and being like, "Oh, I thought you were dead." Nope.
yeah, and I wonder how she feels like if she feels like, 'cause in
Mm,
her eyes they just got up and left her. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
But in a situation that chaotic, you could
yeah,
not have known that that person was dead or alive if they was on the bus, if they was on the other truck with somebody else. I mean, it was just too many factors for her to blame anyone for that. Thankfully
yeah.
she's alive, but yes, when she meets up with them, if she does, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Not to mention, she doesn't know about Shane being dead as well. And they had
Mhm.
a little thing in season 2, so that would be
Yeah.
interesting as well when she finds out about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they built the connection where though she'd be like, that's the love of my life. I don't think
Yeah, I
that
know, but
that was but yeah, like, I
yeah,
understand what you're saying. She felt like he never played the victim, and she wanted to emulate that. So I thought on that level she, felt some kind of way about him outside of like sex and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it may have a little more of a effect on her, but I would say that it's not going to have an effect on anyone as much as it was Rick, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Even your boy Carl, who put a bullet in him, he wasn't even phased. He was like, well, that's just how it goes. You know,
yeah,
I don't know. I think because children have the ability to look at things for what it is, and if he's seen a lot of his group turn to a zombie, and they had to be put down immediately because they're no longer who they are, he sees it as black and white. That's a wrap.
mm,
But I do wonder if they'll get into how they feel about Shane afterwards and stuff. Maybe some flashbacks because at this point, it's it's been a whole season. So you got 3 months, 3 or 4 months that's went by that they've probably had to go over that, and they'll probably have flashbacks that when they talked about what happened to Shane, blah blah blah. So hopefully we'll see what's going on with that. Also the jail inside is hella creepy though, like straight up, like no electricity, and it's really it's Alcatraz like. I would like to think that maybe Rick has some understanding of like the architecture because he's a cop and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe he knows where the kitchen is, where this place is, blah blah blah. So maybe that'll make it a little bit easier. But man, when you got to deal with them numbers like that could be anywhere. I
Hmm.
mean, it just gets ridiculous.
Another a funny scene in the episode. Carl got cock blocked by Herschel.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was like, man, even in a dire apocalyptic situation, you still cock blocking. Where's your room? Where's
Exactly.
your room? And I'm like, she like, well, I couldn't save my other daughter from the Chinaman, but I'll definitely save this one. Oh yeah, so I thought that was funny. I'm like, especially when you got to know this kid,
Yeah.
intimately, in terms of like just camaraderie and just a group situation for months upon months. And I was like, you still, but I think he recognized that they were also getting closer. They're around the same age and stuff. So, he tried to nip that in the bud right there. So, I mean, come on. I don't think they gonna be fucking or nothing like that.
Nah,
What
nah, I don't think so.
Come on, Herschel, with his Christian ways. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's talk about Lori for a minute because I feel like Lori. I kind of sympathize with the situation, but very, very minimally.
Hmm.
This season starts her off as the very sympathetic person. When if you seen last season, you're like, man, fuck her, man, straight up, fuck her.
Exactly.
So, I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, when you're in that situation, you gotta hold on to everybody you got, and I don't know. It's either they just gonna have to deal with that situation. Plus, the baby is a factor as well because if it comes out like a zombie or half zombie, or I'm curious to how that's gonna come out. And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
did say something to Herschel about the baby, her not feeling the baby and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, if it is a zombie inside, it'll eat it from the inside out. I mean, that's just a given right there. You know. So we don't know what's going on
Like
with
if
that.
that were to happen, if the zombie would, eat it from the inside, do you think anybody would really miss her character?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'll be. I mean, like the people that's watching, probably not.
Yeah.
But I think the people that's watching us will will sympathize with Rick and everybody else,
Hmm.
because of the effect it will have on Rick and Carl.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like, you need to stay alive because I don't want to see those guys go through any more than they have to go through. However, it's probably inevitable. It's the world they living in. And I thought the belly looked hella fake too, so I just
Oh
want to
yeah,
throw that.
yeah, yeah. It looked pretty awful.
Yeah, yeah. So she was sitting down and looked pretty droopy. So whatever. But you want to talk about the last scene with Herschel, man?
Man, like that last scene was pure crazy, and it was kind of ridiculous because it's like when they before they set out to go, search around the prison, you would think that they would leave behind the doctor, with Lori and whatnot, but they took like all of the muscle, including the doctor, and and so happens he's the one to get bit, by
Hmm.
a sleeping zombie, and I mean, the scene was like funny. Like Hurst was screaming. It was pretty hilarious. Little bad, like little bad acting right there. But um, and then Rick, he trying to save Hurst. Last minute thinking, he just chops off his leg, which was a very brutal and graphic scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering like how fast it spreads through your bloodstream when they bite you,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that helped at all, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I would like to think because when they in season one when they talked to the guy at the research center or whatever, he was saying like it varies.
Yeah.
It could take It could take a minute, it could take 5 minutes, it could take 2 hours. It varies. So I could see that. But the fact that they don't even know where the infirmary is or anything like that. So you know they're gonna have to get to that like with the quickness.
And after that, the final shot where they showed the other prisoners, like for a second, I thought they were zombies because it was like kind of like a still moment,
Uh huh. They was
and
just
then
standing there.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, are they zombies? And then dude was like, oh shit, oh, okay, they're alive. So yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I got a couple of things about that. I mean, obviously they've been in there since whatever. So you got different
Hmm.
people with different clothes on. So you got inmates and
Yeah,
guards maybe or cooks or whatever the fuck, right?
yeah.
Now, you got women there. They brung women,
Hmm.
Rick's group, and with a prison mentality, somebody getting raped.
Yep.
Straight up. Even Carl was in danger of getting raped. Straight up. So we know this. So I think that prison mentality of those people are really gonna take over. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but man, we're gonna have to kill some people, like straight up, cause you ain't raping none of our women. Like that's what's up. So I don't know. You got sometimes you got to kill the living. So let's
Yeah.
not let's rock. You know. So yeah, this has been The Walking Dead season 3 episode 1 review. Give us your thoughts in there. Try not to give us super duper spoilers that go beyond this episode. A lot of you probably have read the comics, but anything that you can tell us to expand on what we were saying, without spoiling. Go ahead and feel free. So yeah, this is Rodney 383. Holla at you, boy.
B Dub, the motherfucking anime master.
And that's a wrap. See y'all next time. Peace.